Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Teal. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to talk about why you're going to fail as a photographer. It sounded kind of harsh, didn't it? So I didn't mean to make that sound super harsh, but I do have to say that probably 8 out of 10 photographers that I personally know have quit at some point because of these things. So I'm not really sure why it happens, but a lot of people decide they want to do photography as a hobby, or a lot of people come straight out of the gate and go, it's my dream to be a professional photographer, so I'm gonna do it. And then a few months in, they decide that maybe it's not for them, or things aren't going like they want them to go, so they just up and quit. They decide it's not for them, whatever. There's even been like photographers, moms that I know that pick up a camera, I just want to take better pictures of my kid, and even they give that up because it's just, I don't know if it's, they think it's easy. I'm guessing that's what it is. So I've known people personally that have said I've inspired them. They pick up a camera and they're like, dang, Teal's inspired me. I love her photos. I want to do that too. And then they quit. So I think like if I made that look easy, then cool, but it definitely is not easy. It's definitely not something that comes quickly, so I'm sorry if I made it look like that, and that's why it didn't work out for you. But we're going to talk about some things today that I think if you kind of come into it knowing these things, that maybe it will help you not quit, or if you're thinking about quitting, maybe these things will help you. So I think the first thing that people do when they start photography and they're learning, they compare themselves to other people. They put their photos next to somebody that they love's photos, and they don't look the same. Or you just keep chugging away and chugging away and chugging away and learning and shooting and growing, and you do see growth. So when you look at your photos, you see the first photos you took and you see the newest photos you took, and you can see growth. But the newest photos you take still don't look like somebody who's been maybe shooting for a long time, who's been shooting for a lot of years. If you've been shooting for a month, your photos are not going to look as good as maybe somebody who's been shooting for 5, 6, 7 years. They might, but it's not likely. Like if you were learning from scratch, never touched a camera before, never used it in manual, it's very unlikely that a month of time is going to be enough for you to learn everything that you have to learn. So I'm noticing that a lot of people kind of get down on themselves, like, oh, I'm just never gonna be that good. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Like it doesn't matter what they're doing on their journey. They've been doing it for 5 or 6 years, or they've been doing it just a couple months longer than you. They've still been doing it longer than you. Nobody's journey is the same. You can't compare yourself to other people like that. Of course that's gonna get you down. So if you're not seeing the results you want, then you need to practice more. You need to get there. Make it a goal instead of letting it kind of crush you and make you feel bad about what you're doing. Make it a goal. Make it like, I can't wait to be where they're at, and practice, 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 and put everything you have into it. Like it's kind of crazy to me that somebody not getting the results they want as quickly would make them quit instead of working a little bit harder and doing what needs to be done and accepting it as a challenge. I also see a lot of people kind of put their cameras down and quit because it's not what they thought. This kind of goes along still with the quick growth. I think a lot of people think that because they want something, that it's going to happen. So because you want to be a photographer, because you want everybody to want you to take their photos, then it's just going to happen. I'm a very positive person, and I'm a very universe driven person. I do think the universe gives you signs, and I do think that when you put things out into the universe, you absolutely will get them back. But I think that can be a problem sometimes also. If you throw something out into the universe and just expect it to come back, it's not really likely. I think a lot of people kind of come into photography with that mindset, like, I want to do this, I'm gonna be amazing, this is perfect, and then they hear crickets, and that's discouraging. It's not an easy thing to do. This is not an easy journey. You don't pick up a camera and then a month later people want you to take a photo for the cover of their magazine. It's just not, and that's the same thing with lots of things in life. Like nothing happens like that. Just because you want something really bad does not mean it's going to happen. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes not quitting, not giving up. It takes a positive attitude. It takes so much learning. Like I definitely don't believe in you having to go to school, like an actual school setting for photography, but it's still school. You have to school yourself on photography, and it's not something that comes easy for a lot of people. You have to find the time. So I think that people don't understand that when they start photography. They think that it's going to be I can take a good photo, now I'm gonna go make money. It's not like that. It takes a lot more time. So I think when that starts to not happen, so I was like, all right, cool, I've learned. I made a Facebook page. I'm offering sessions for super cheap. Why is nobody booking me? And it'll kind of drain you. Like, when you're excited and then nobody else is excited, it is draining. And it happens to professionals too. But I think it's more so just being aware that things aren't going to come quick. You're not going to post an ad for $50 sessions and everybody's going to come running and screaming at you. It's not like that. So be aware of that. If that's happening to you right now, just stick with it. The longer you're in the game, the more your name is out there, the more practice you get. It's just going to get better and better and better and better. I think another reason why people kind of give up is the time commitment. I don't know where it became a thing that all you do is push a button and you get photos. Like, it's not really a thing. There's a lot more to it. I don't think people realize the amount of time that it takes to learn, the amount of time that it just takes. So you take the photos, you edit the photos, everything you have to do to the photos. Let's say, for example, like a 1 hour shoot. So I will drive 45 minutes. I will take photos for about an hour. I will drive 45 minutes home. And then I will upload my photos, and if I've shot in RAW, and I usually take between 700 and 900 photos during a session. I know that's crazy and some people think it's weird, but I'd rather have way too many photos than miss little details. So I have to sit and wait for all of those RAWs to upload to my computer, and then I back them up, and then I put them in Lightroom. And then any behind the scenes video that I had an assistant take, I also upload that. So the time frame, so here we are, these photos are in the computer from leaving for my session to uploading all of these raw photos into the computer and being done with them. We're looking at like 5 hours. Like, it sounds crazy, but a lot of people don't realize that. Like, it's just not as quick as you think it is. You don't take a picture and it's amazing. Like, sure, you can take a great photo in your camera, but you also can't deliver a raw photo. So if you're doing things right and you're shooting in RAW, even if you're shooting in like a high JPEG, like, your camera is not going to see what your eyeballs see. You have to edit that photo. I don't care what anybody says, fight me. I think people don't take that into account when they start this hobby, that it's very time consuming. And even when I was learning, like, my husband and my kid would get a little upset. It's like, hey, we're supposed to be having family time. And I'm like, all right, well, let me just, I actually had to stop. I had to stop working on weekends. So, like, I'll shoot on weekends, but that's it. I'll shoot and I'll upload on weekends, but I won't edit on weekends. I won't. I had to kind of find a balance because it is very time consuming. And I think that when it comes down to it, unless this is something that you really, really, really want to do and you understand that it's going to take time, that kind of slaps people in the face. And it kind of gets them down, like, I don't have time for this. And it'll make them quit. Like, not having enough time or not realizing how much time you need to handle this hobby or this business or whatever, handle photography, it's going to get you down and it's going to make you quit. You will quit because you don't have enough time. But there are only 24 hours in a day. So I definitely think that time is a deal breaker for a lot of people in photography. So just be aware. Just know that you're going to have to carve out time. It's going to be a slow process. Don't compare yourself to others. Okay, so I think I've covered a lot in this video. If you are feeling any of these ways, if any of these things are affecting you and making you kind of think about if this was the right choice for you, you can get out of it. Just know that it's normal. The way you're feeling is absolutely normal. I slow down. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to decide you want to be a photographer and then 2 months later you're a professional photographer. You don't have to do that. Just know what it is, know what it's about, know that there are challenges. It's not easy for everyone. Just take your time. I think you'll be a great photographer if you take your time. Really, honestly, all of this stuff just comes down to like, take your time. Like, you don't have to rush anything. I hope you like this video. I hope you got something out of this video. I feel like if you were here watching this video, it's probably because you were feeling a certain way. Maybe you weren't sure if you should quit or if you should keep going. So I hope that this video explains some things, and I hope that you do keep going. I want everybody to keep going. I think that there is room for everybody in the photography world and the photography business aspect. There's plenty of room for everyone. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so that you can see all of my future videos. I will see you next time. Bye!